Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Jake Lambright. A lot to talk about here when it comes to our forecast in the coming days. I want to start off, though, with a look at First Alert satellite and radar. You'll see most of Louisiana not seeing any cloud cover out there. The only spots dealing with cloud cover at this point are along and north of Interstate 20. That's what that kind of white shading is on your screen. But for the most part, much of Louisiana does stay clear overnight, Tuesday into Wednesday. Now, we have had to watch out here recently for a couple of frosts and freezes. The good news is, over the next 5 to 7 days, we're really not looking at another chance for frost or freeze. Things should stay pretty nice. Temperatures during the overnight hours staying there anywhere from the upper 30s to the low 50s there as we head through the next couple of days. So again, not expecting a frost or freeze here in the days to come. Do want to break down our drought monitor too, because this is something where in central Louisiana specifically, we've been dealing with some of the worst drought conditions in the state for several weeks consistently now. Now, this isn't on the maxed out end of the scale where you see darker orange there on your screen. Those are severe level drought conditions. That's a level 2 out of 4. You'll see a patch there in Sabine and Natchitoches Parish and another patch across Allen, Evangeline, and St. Landry Parish. Of course, moderate or level 1 out of 4 drought, that has expanded week to week as well. In this last update, not as noticeable as it has been in weeks past. That moderate drought, level 1 out of 4, and then dry conditions are pre-drought conditions. They're level 0 on the scale out of 1 to 4. All right, let's talk about our rain chances because, of course, we really need those rain chances. They stay very, very minimal as we go through the next 7 days. We'll have a weak disturbance moving through the northern Gulf as we head into Friday evening and into the day on Saturday, but moves along pretty quickly. If we see any rain out of it, we're talking very minimal amounts, and most of us will probably end up staying dry. We got some additional rain chances Sunday and another very low end rain chance as we head into the day on Tuesday. So here's that piece of energy I was talking about as we head into Friday evening. And again, those reds don't mean anything bad. This is a very weak disturbance that'll be moving across. You'll see, though, by about Saturday evening, the disturbance is basically right off the coast of the Florida Panhandle. So again, it's moving along pretty quickly, so not going to be bringing us rain chances for all that long. For those that see rain, like I said, very, very minimal amounts. You'll see that in the light green, that indicates about 1/100th of an inch of rain, maybe a trace of rain. The gray on the map just means that you will not see rain. And again, that's not a guarantee for everybody, but there will be people that don't see rain. In fact, like I said, I'm really leaning toward most of us not seeing rain by the time this is all said and done. Now, I am watching maybe a more larger scale storm system toward the middle of next week. Hopefully that brings us some of that widespread rain that we need, but that's about 8 to 10 days out. So a lot of things are going to change with that. I don't want to go too far into details there, as it could do a complete 180 by the time we get into a range of confidence. As we head into the day on Wednesday, things are looking nice. Things are looking very clear out there as well. We'll keep a lot of sunshine throughout the day. A few passing clouds, but nothing too crazy. And temperatures are going to be much warmer starting on Wednesday, and we'll keep warmer weather around through the first half of the weekend. Things getting a little bit cooler briefly for the start of next week. But again, nothing too crazy, just a couple degrees there below average. That will be very brief, though. That's one thing we've seen with these cool downs here over the past couple weeks is that we see cooler weather. It's very brief. Temperatures start to skyrocket back up. In this case, we'll be in the 60s and 70s for a couple of days this week. As we head into the 8 to 14-day window, so we're looking a little bit beyond that 10-day forecast, there's a pretty good chance that we see above average temperatures actually continue across a good portion of the southeast. Now, the darker that red, that doesn't mean the warmer the temperature is going to get. It just means the higher the confidence is that temperatures will be warmer than about 61, 62 degrees for us in central Louisiana. Now, when it comes to rain chances, the confidence not as high. It's really a coin toss whether or not we see below average amounts of precipitation in that time window or above average. It's a 50-50 chance. That's what that gray color means. It kind of represents anywhere from Houston all the way back into southwest Texas through most of Louisiana and into the southern half of Mississippi and Alabama. All right, we're taking a look at that extended forecast. Let's take a look at your 7 and 10-day forecast. Here's a look at the 7-day. Again, it is going to be warm here as we go through the next couple of days. Highs there will be in the 60s and 70s through Sunday. A brief return to the 50s Monday, right back into the low 60s as we head into Tuesday. Your 10-day forecast kind of expanding on that a little bit more. You'll notice those rain chances that I was talking about toward the middle of the week. Right now I'm keeping it on the lower end of things, but then we'll dry out by Thursday and Friday, keeping things nice and seasonable in the 60s. All right, so thankfully the weather staying quiet here as we go through much of the next week. Better knock on wood with that. Of course, if there's anything that changes, if we get any more elevated rain chances next week, I'll make sure to give you the first alert. And if anybody has any questions, I'll leave this up here. I'll actually leave the 10-day up for about 10 or 30 more seconds or so. You can leave those questions in our Facebook chat, and I'll be getting to those here in just a moment. Of course, a nice change of pace. It's not cool, it's not dreary, not misty out there. It is just nice and pleasant for the next couple of days. Really can't ask for much better weather this time of the year.